Yo, hello everybody, welcome back. I hope you guys doing fine. I appreciate you guys coming back to one more video because I know it's been a while since I post videos. I've been kind of busy though, personal life stuff, you know, and especially with this hot weather. It's been 100 degrees outside. I work outside, so all of that and a bunch of stuff happening. But let's get into this, right? So today I have for you guys a build that I've been using for a while. I have this build because I've been working on it and trying to get as much damage as I can, because this is going to be a huge damage build that I have. This is going to be my farming build. This is the build that I go for when I need like a heavy weapon damage machines. I call this the hitting like a truck type of build because one, this gun that I've been using a lot in Title Update 10 since Title Update 9 as a fact. This gun is super strong. I don't see a lot of people using besides my boy Darkus. Shout out to Darkus. He's the one that's been telling me to use this gun a lot. We're talking about the MK16 or the Mark 16, whatever you want to call it. This gun is super strong, and combined with this build you feel like you're hitting like a truck. So this build has a potential for hitting on a crit damage about 900k when I hit for crit hit damage on the head, and also on the body you still do a lot of damage. So I get close to 1 million per crit on this build once I get better pieces, because you can optimize this build for hitting a lot better. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about, right? Let's get into this. So take a look at the build. This is gonna be the build. So we're using MK16, which is the Mark 16, whatever you want to call it, right? Like I said, the Mark 16 is a weapon that I don't see a lot of people using, but this gun is really strong, right? So the Mark 16 that we're using here has the talent Strained. Now I do have two options in here. We have Strained and also we have Optimist. They're both great, but I do recommend Strained mostly for this weapon, because Strained is a type of talent that will take advantage of weapons that hit they have a slower RPM, right? So the Mark 16 has an RPM of 625, and the Strained takes advantage of that a lot, right? So gain a 10% critical hit damage per every 0.5 seconds you are firing, stacks up to 5 times. So that's a potential of 50% critical hit damage with this gun. That is gonna add up to the build. The base damage of the MK16 is 55k, and so that goes for both versions, right? And then on the second version I have this one, which has Optimus. Optimus also is a really good weapon talent for damage. So weapon damage is increased by 3% for every 10% ammo missing from the magazine. Really good weapon talent. That's about 13% weapon damage that I believe. Someone that already found out about this back in the past, so you guys already should know about that. Now the both guns are really good when it comes to core attribute and attribute. They're almost maxed. This one is the best one that I have when it comes to, you know, almost maxed out. I have maxed weapon damage on the assault rifle, 19.5% of health damage, and 10% damage to target out of cover. That's always the attribute that I recommend for weapons, because damage to target out of cover is multiplicative, and it's one of the best damage that you can put in any weapon, to be honest with you, depending on the build, but for the majority of builds is really good. So I have that on this one, and also on this one I have 10% damage to target out of cover and a little bit less damage overall, right? If I go on the mods, I have critical hit chance almost everywhere. So on the scope, 5% critical hit chance, 5% critical hit chance on the muzzle, and also on the laser I do have the linked laser pointer. Now if you don't know, you should know this by now. Linked laser pointer is basically a weapon mod that you can put on your weapons that can pulse the enemy once you are aiming at them. So that means we have 100% pulse at all time once we are shooting at an enemy, and we're gonna need that pulse because we have a talent on the chest piece that will take advantage of this pulse. And last but not least, the last mod is gonna be the sturdy extended magazine 5.5 that gives us a plus 20 rounds and minus 10 reload speed, and that's what we're gonna be using for both guns the way we are modding it. Now to get the laser pointer we have to go with specialization, the technician. The technician, once you unlock it, right, you can unlock everything else, but when you go in here on the rifle, if you unlock the rifle to the fullest, it'll give you access to this linked laser pointer, which is a mod that you can put in some guns that have long rails on the barrel. So it's the long rails and the barrels that can go on it. So not every gun can get it, but most guns can get it, and that's the reason that we're using this for that, basically. Now moving on from the gun, let's talk about the build. So this build, I feel like it's pretty simple to make, to be honest with you, but let's show you guys what you guys can do. So first of all, we have the Coyote mask. This is the only exotic that we have on the build. The Coyote mask will give you extra critical damage or chance depending on the distance of your enemy that you hit, right? The attributes, core attributes, going to be weapon damage, and then attributes, critical chance and critical damage all over the place, the more that you can get. Moving down for the chest beats, we have the Ferris Group AB. We need one of them at least on the build because Ferris Group AB gives you that 10% assault rifle damage, right? So the core attribute is going to be all red, critical chance and critical damage all over the place, and then the talent is going to be spotter. That's why we need that linked laser pointer on the gun. So spotter amplifies total weapon damage and skill damage by 15% to pulse enemies. So that's why we need the enemies being pulsed, and the damage is going to be amplified, which is really good type of damage. The second talent is going to be on the backpack. Now in here we are using a Providence defense, but I'll give you guys some other options in here. So my Providence defense is going to be all red. I have critical chance and critical damage all over the place. Like I said, as a fact, the way I go with critical damage and critical chance, it's like I try to reach a certain amount of critical chance, and then the rest I'll dump in the critical damage. So taking a look at my stats real quick, if I go on the gun, I have 52% critical chance because remember I have that mask that will give me that 10% critical chance, so I'll be capped at 60% critical chance, and then my critical damage will be around 158% critical damage once I'm in between that 15 to 25 meters, right? Now going back to the build on this backpack, with the Providence defense, the talent that I'm choosing in here is going to be Vigilance. Increase total weapon damage by 25%, and then taking damage, disable this buff for 4 seconds. This is a really good talent and hits the hardest, but you have that disadvantage of losing it for 4 seconds, which is not, you know, a big deal. But you have other options in here. For example, instead of that talent, you could go either with Companion, which is one of the first talents that I used when I was making this build. As a fact, this backpack is what I was using. And also you can go with Unstoppable Force, which I don't have in here, but Unstoppable Force gives you the same amount of damage, 25%, but you have to build it up to that 25%. So that's the difference between Vigilance and Unstoppable Force. Now another option here, as a fact, I use Providence defense because I go for headshot the most, but let's say you want to go to body shots, I guess Grupo Sombra will be the best option. 15% critical damage once you have equipped one, but Grupo Sombra comes with a yellow mod slot, which is what pisses me off the most. But in the next patch, supposedly they're gonna be changing that, so all the mods gonna be generic. Maybe this backpack will be a lot better. And yeah, moving on for the gloves, we have a chest skin in here just to give us that 10% critical chance by equipping one. All red attributes, as you see, critical chance, critical damage, and weapon damage. And then the two last piece is gonna be the knee pads and the holster. They both are Walker, Harris, and Co. So these new brand set, they give you 5% weapon damage by equipping one and 5% damage to armor by equipping two. Now I could go with the third one for damage to health, but I feel like it's not really necessary unless you're going against Black Tusk. Right now I'm going just to farm, so I feel like Ferris Group AB for headshot will be better for me in this case, so that's why I'm using that. But the rest, the damage to armor and weapon damage, I feel like it goes really good on this build. That's why I'm using this. And then the attributes, as you see, it's gonna be all red, as I mentioned. The two skills that I'm using in here is going to be the Crusader Ballistic Shield and also the Fixer Drone, just kind of help me out. So this skill is whatever you want to use, but the most important is going to be the build and also this gun, like I said, the MK16, the Mark 16. Have you tried it? Let me know what you guys think of this gun. This gun hits like a truck because it hits really hard. Definitely give it a shot with the MK16, really strong weapon. This is my build that I use for farming and anytime I need like a hard hitting DPS type of build. So Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit me with a like. I would appreciate. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more content to come. And I appreciate you guys still here because it's been a while since I post anything, right? But it's just I've been busy. But let you guys go for now. Thank you for watching. Peace.